Welcome back to the deep dive. We are taking your source material, peeling back those layers, and really getting you the knowledge you need right now.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're stepping into what seems like the quiet world of Dream Harbor. It's this little seaside town where a fresh start kicks off, not with, say, a nice cup of tea, but with a baseball bat.
Yeah, a weapon. It's quite the entrance.
It really is. We start right in the thick of it with Jeanie Ellis. She's completely sleep deprived. We're talking 3 nights no sleep, just fueled by anxiety, maybe some trauma we'll get into.
Right.
And she's convinced every noise is, the end of the world. She hears these weird sounds outside her back door. The sources call them scritchy, scratchy, clangy, bangy noises.
Almost cartoonish, but terrifying to her.
Exactly. So she creeps downstairs, heart pounding, grabs a baseball bat, actually prepared for murder, the sources say.
Which tells you a lot about her state of mind.
It does. She flings open the door, ready to swing, and bam! She's face to face with this huge guy in flannel. But he's not holding an axe. He's holding a crate of tiny pumpkins.
Gourds, actually. He's very specific about that later. But yeah, that's the jarring reality check for Jeanie Ellis.
She's the focus of our deep dive today. The new owner of the Pumpkin Spice Café trying to find refuge in this, almost too perfect seaside town, Dream Harbor.
And our mission here is to really analyze this clash, right? You've got her quest for a totally clean slate, this new Jeanie persona she's aiming for.
Driven by trauma.
Absolutely. And that crashes headfirst into small-town reality, which means, quirks, secrets, hidden agendas.
And a farmer. Logan Anders?
Yeah.
Very attractive, apparently.
Devastatingly so, according to Jeannie's internal monologue, even when she's thinking about police lineups.
Okay, so we're unpacking her big move, this weird mystery at the cafe,
Yeah.
how things develop with Logan, who starts as just the produce guy.
And I think this is really relevant for, anyone listening who's ever wanted to just hit reset,
Right.
or felt drowned in information and the noise of life. Jeannie's struggle to become new Jeanie, it's a fascinating look at how much our environment shapes us. Running away to somewhere idyllic like Dream Harbor doesn't just magically fix your internal stuff.
If anything, it forces you to confront it differently.
Exactly, especially in a place that's so involved. This community dictates the pace of change, in a way. #have1. The setting, the catalyst, and the pursuit of new Jeanie.
Okay, let's dig into this setting first, because the contrast is huge, isn't it? She's actively running from something.
Oh, definitely. Boston, traffic, noise, concrete, crowds, high-pressure finance world. She escapes all that for Dream Harbor, a place she literally thinks must have been dreamed up. It's so picture-perfect.
Almost suspiciously perfect.
Right. It's got that classic New England feel. The cafe itself is on Main Street, nestled right between Bluebell Bookstore and Sullivan's Pub. You immediately get this cozy, Stars Hollow kind of vibe.
Yeah, the sources even mention that later. But Jeannie's initial experience isn't cozy, it's paranoid because she's so exhausted.
And her arrival wasn't smooth either. She inherits the Pumpkin Spice Café from Aunt Dot.
Who didn't just retire gracefully.
No, she bolted. Abruptly decides she needs a permanent tan in the Caribbean. Just poof, gone.
Leaving Jeanie with basically zero instructions on running a cafe.
And that's key. Aunt Dot is this free spirit archetype Jeanie sort of wants to become. Dot's spontaneous, unstructured. For Jeanie, coming from executive assistant world where everything is playing.
7 years as executive assistant to the CEO of Franklin, Mercer, and Young Financial. Very structured.
Exactly. So inheriting this business with no roadmap, it's terrifying for her. It pushes her way out of her comfort zone, ironically making her more anxious, not less.
Which brings us to why she ran. The catalyst. It's pretty heavy.
It is. Finding her boss, Marvin, dead at his desk. Massive heart attack. She walked in and found him.
Wow, okay.
The sources emphasize the shock, the trauma. There's this detail about the coffee stain on the carpet where she dropped her mug when she saw him.
That's vivid.
It is. That physical memory, that inescapable moment of chaos and death, that's what she's trying to escape by moving to pristine, maybe overly ordered Dream Harbor.
Understandable. She quit right then and there.
On the spot.
Yeah.
And sees the cafe as this perfect escape, her chance to reinvent herself completely. Hence, new life, new Jeanie.
So what's the goal for new Jeanie?
Less intense, less talking, definitely less overthinking. She wants to channel Aunt Dot's supposed calmness, those free spirit vibes.
She's basically trying to suppress her own personality, her training.
Pretty much. Her old job trained her to anticipate everything, manage risk. Then death, the ultimate unmanageable thing, happens right in front of her. So she equates her competence with stress. Now she wants quiet, routine, low stakes.
But instead, she gets chaos. fueled by that lack of sleep. 3 nights straight since moving in above the cafe.
Yeah, and that fatigue just obliterates rational thought.
So those normal old building noises.
Yeah.
The scritchy, scratchy, and clangy-bangy sounds.
They don't sound like pipes or raccoons to her. Nope. Her brain, primed by trauma and exhaustion, jumps straight to...
Escaped serial killer. Creeping up the back steps.
It sounds almost funny, but in that moment, for her, it's absolutely real. Her body is ready for a fight.
Which is exactly what leads to that awkward confrontation with the pumpkin guy. Bat in hand.
Right, so the scene is set. Not a meet cute, more like a meet violence, as the source puts it.
Yeah. She throws open the door, bat raised, full of adrenaline and fear.
And finds Logan Anders, this giant man towering over her, holding a pumpkins. Or gourds.
Gourds. He corrects her later. It's important to him. But yeah, the visual is just perfect. He's the epitome of autumnal bounty, you know?
Yeah.
Reliable, earthy.
But also kind of grumpy looking.
Definitely. Worn flannel, thick beard. But Jeanie, even in her panic, notices the details. Long, straight nose, these devastating blue eyes.
And lashes for days. She's mentally noting this for a police lineup, supposedly.
Right. While also clearly being very, very attracted to him. That confusion, that push-pull, that's their dynamic from the start. And the immediate conflict is just procedure. He's the produce guy.
And he has a system. Every Thursday, 5 years running, he delivers before dawn precisely to avoid people.
Especially well-meaning townsfolk and small talk. He hates the gossip.
Exactly. Logan uses his routine like a shield. He wants to be left alone, basically. And Jeanie, this new chaotic element, just blew up his quiet time. So he's immediately defensive.
But what's he shielding? What's this farm life he retreats to?
Yeah.
Because the details are
Yeah.
something else.
They really are. It's not just a farm, it's his sanctuary. And it's full of these slightly quirky dependents, half a dozen silky chickens.
You fluffy ones?
Yeah. Named after pop stars. Taylor, Rihanna, Lizzo, Lady Gaga, Britney.
Seriously.
Yep. And 2 old goats, Marley and Dylan, like Bob Marley and Bob Dylan.
Okay, I see a theme.
And the pièce de résistance, Harry Styles, a rescue alpaca.
Harry Styles' rescue alpaca, that tells you everything.
It really does. This supposedly gruff, avoidant man spends his days caring for these vulnerable, slightly ridiculous animals. It's narrative shorthand for his own vulnerability, right?
He can commit to the animals, maybe not people.
That's the implication. Animals offer predictable affection. They rely on him completely. No risk of them, say, publicly rejecting his marriage proposal at the town Christmas tree lighting.
Ouch. That happened. We'll get to that. But first, he sees Jeanie's distress immediately, despite the bad.
Yeah. The sources say he sees she's a study in contradiction. Competent somehow, but totally lost. Quick to smile, quick to frown. He clocks the deep exhaustion, her slumped, defeated posture.
And it tugged at something inside him. He sees past the aggression to the fear underneath.
And that shared vulnerability, I think, is what shifts things. She drops the aggression, admits she's new, scared, doesn't know what she's doing. That honesty works better than any argument.
He tries to rationalize the noises first, though.
Oh, yeah. Raccoons, old pipes, drafty windows, your own imagination. Classic grumpy guy trying to fix it with logic.
But her genuine fear wins him over. And maybe the hedgehog pajama pants she was wearing.
The sources do mention he noticed the PJs. But yeah, it's her genuine distress and then this sudden real smile when she basically begs him for help. That gets him. He tells her reluctantly to bring it up at the town meeting tonight.
Even though he hates town meetings.
Hates them. Would rather have, like, invasive dental surgery. But he agrees to go. That's a big step for him, already protective. He knows the book club will have a field day, but he's in. #3, Dream Harbor Dynamics, and the spooky mystery.
Okay, the town meeting. This is where Jeanie gets her crash course in how Dream Harbor actually works. It's held in this quaint old 1870 town hall. Sounds normal enough.
But the way decisions get made, not so normal.
Right. It's not really about official channels. The real power lies with the book club.
Infamous. Nancy, Linda, Isabel, who always has baby Mateo with her, and Jacob. These 4 apparently run this town, and their fuel, gossip. They eat gossip for breakfast.
Their influence is just total.
And what they're reading tells you a lot about the town's vibe. Right now, it's male hockey romance, a book called Heated Up.
Okay.
And Jacob, who looks like a finance bro, according to Jeanie, hands her a copy of Passion in the Fields, the Farmer, and the Milkmaid.
Seriously. He just gives her that.
Yep. Tells her it's to help you get it out of your system.
Wow. Subtle?
Not at all. It's the town basically saying, we see the sparks between you and Logan. Lean into it. Get messy. They're
Mhm.
practically scripting her romance novel life for her, encouraging her to drop the new Jeanie act.
And then there's the official town governance, which is even stranger.
Meh.
Mayor Kelly, Hazel's
I
dad.
runs the town based on his dreams. Logan thinks it's completely nuts.
But the dreams work.
Weirdly, yes.
Yeah.
The sources give examples. He dreamed he'd become mayor, and he did. He dreamed about a big ice storm, warned everyone, saved a lot of trouble. He even dreamed about electrical problems in the nursery school.
And an electrician found faulty wiring that could have caused a fire.
Exactly. So it's this system that values intuition, community feeling over, say, spreadsheets and logic, which is the total opposite of Jeannie's old world.
And this dream system ropes Logan in directly. Mayor Kelly had a dream that night about a stranger in need of help.
Who Logan Anders specifically would volunteer to help.
So Logan is basically mandated by Dream to help Jeanie investigate her spooky noises.
Pretty much. You cannot escape the collective consciousness, or maybe just the collective meddling of Dream Harbor. Privacy is not really a thing.
So the town meeting happens. People throw out theories for the noises, teenagers, wind, stress dreams. Noah, the fishing captain, insists it's ghosts.
Of course he does.
And Logan, despite hating the idea, gets roped into doing a stakeout with Jeanie. He does bring snacks, though. Too much snacks. And Twizzlers, his secret weakness.
Gotta respect a man with a secret Twizzlers habit. So the first stakeout, what do they find?
The ghost turns out to be
Casper, a cat. A pure white, kind of eerie-looking cat who immediately decides Jeanie is his person.
oh man, Jeanie must have been mortified. Totally. Convinced she's officially lost it. All that fuss over a stray cat.
But wait, it doesn't end there, does it? If it was just the cat, problem solved.
Exactly. But the mischief escalates. And it changes. It stops being random noises and becomes deliberate, targeted.
Okay, so what happens next?
We start seeing things like tipped over trash cans, but the bags aren't ripped open like an animal would do.
Suggesting a person just knock them over. Messy, but not foraging.
Right. Then flower pots, mums, specifically get knocked over or go missing entirely. Then a window gets broken, just smashed. Jeanie has to patch it with cardboard.
Okay, that's definitely escalating beyond stray cat or teenagers.
And then the really concerning stuff, cut dishwasher wires inside the cafe and stolen mail.
Whoa. Okay, so that proves it's not random. It's someone with access, someone who knows the cafe. This isn't a ghost, it's sabotage. Someone is actively trying to drive Jeanie out. Hashtag tag 4, the saboteur in Jeanie's commitment.
So while Jeanie's dealing with this escalating sabotage, the romance angle heats up too, but with warnings.
Ah, the friends' intervention. Annie and Hazel, Logan's closest friends, right?
Yeah, they pull Jeanie aside. They need to warn her about Logan's emotional track record.
This makes sense. Small town looking out for its own, maybe? Or just managing expectations? What do they say?
They tell her he has a tendency to fall pretty hard, and they fill her in on the Lucy disaster.
The Christmas tree lighting proposal rejection? Public humiliation 101.
Exactly. Lucy apparently hated his beard, which is like his defining feature, and said no, very publicly. The whole town saw it.
Ooh. No wonder he avoids gossip in public displays. He's terrified of being seen as that pathetic, lonely man again.
And that fear directly impacts how he sees Jeanie. He's constantly worried she's just like Lucy.
That she sees Dream Harbor as just a temporary stop, a pit stop on their soul-searching tour, as the source puts it.
Yeah, he's projecting his past heartbreak onto her, seeing her potential departure everywhere.
Meanwhile, Jeanie's trying to figure out who's messing with her cafe. Her anxiety shifts from imaginary killers to actual suspects.
Inside suspects. She figures it has to be someone with a key, someone who knows the place. Norman, Crystal, or Joe, her staff.
Right, because they know the temperamental cappuccino machine. They have access after hours. How does she profile them?
Well, her thinking is still a bit skewed by her own stuff. She considers Crystal, wondering if maybe Crystal is jealous about Logan.
Which is Jeanie projecting her own feelings onto Crystal.
Totally. And she considers Joe just because he, quote, looks like a criminal.
Blech.
Which shows that old, cynical Boston side is still there, despite her new Jeanie efforts.
Okay, so who is it really?
It turns out to be Norman, the longtime manager. He quits, then confesses, sort of.
Sort of.
He admits he hired someone else, an associate named Jim, to do the actual mischief, the tipped cans, the missing flowers, just to be untidy. He says Jim breaking the window went too far.
Wow. So Norman orchestrated it, but outsourced the vandalism. Why? What was his motive?
This is where it gets really small-town dramatic. It wasn't about hurting Jeanie directly. It was all about Aunt Dot.
Norman had been secretly in love with Aunt Dot for years. He was devastated when Dot sold the cafe to Jeanie instead of him.
Why? Did he want to run it himself?
He hopes Dot would finally leave the cafe so they could retire together. He saw Jeanie inheriting it as Dot choosing independence over a future with him.
Oh my gosh. All that chaos because of unrequited love.
Decades of it, apparently. This comes out when Dot actually returns from her tan quest and confronts Norman. She admits she felt the same way but was too scared of rejection to say anything.
So she bolted to the Caribbean instead of dealing with her feelings.
Exactly. The whole mystery, the sabotage, it all boils down to this long, simmering, unspoken romance between Norman and Dot.
That resolution must have been a huge moment for Jeanie.
Absolutely. It's an epiphany. She realizes even this perfect town is full of messy human emotions, hidden histories, complicated relationships. The chaos isn't unique to Boston. It just looks different here, like petty vandalism fueled by heartbreak.
And seeing that, understanding the local brand of chaos, helps her commit.
It seems to. That, plus the success of the fall festival she manages to pull off despite everything. She digs in, she realizes she's not leaving, she's staying.
Even with staff problems, Crystal's sick, Joe's late, she's running the show.
And she has this moment of clarity about herself. She lets go of the new Jeanie idea.
What does she say?
I tried to be a sunshiny ball of quirky calmness, some archetype of the perfect small-town cafe owner. I tried to be like Dot, but I'm not. I'm just me, and I like running this cafe. My cafe.
That's powerful, accepting herself, messiness, and all. Okay, so mystery solved. Jeanie's committed to staying. The big remaining thread is Logan and his fear of, well, everything public.
His abandonment issues and his terror of town gossip, yeah. So they try to keep their relationship quiet.
Which, in Dream Harbor, seems basically impossible.
Completely. It just leads to these rushed, awkward, constantly interrupted moments.
Like their first kiss. Not exactly romantic moonlight.
No. It happens during total chaos at the farmer's market. It's pouring rain. Jeanie's cheap tent collapses and literally blows away. And in the middle of this disaster, soaked and probably muddy, she just throws her arms around his neck and kisses him.
Bold move. How does Logan react?
He's completely thrilled. Like, this is maybe not the ideal time for a major emotional development. Classic Logan.
And the interruptions continue, right? Yeah. The haunted house incident.
Oh, that's great physical comedy, but also so telling. They sneak into the haunted house at the fall festival for some privacy.
As you do.
And they're making out, and suddenly, bright flashlight beam. It's Linda from the book club.
No. Did she freak out?
Not at all. She just laughs, says something like, "You're the fourth couple I've caught in here tonight," and keeps patrolling.
The town will not let them be secret.
Exactly. It's like the community itself is pushing them out into the open, insisting they be part of the public narrative.
But the secrecy weighs on Jeanie. Especially when Logan keeps pulling back, like at his apartment door after they've hooked up. He's so worried about how this town talks.
Yeah, that Lucy trauma runs deep. He needs privacy to feel safe. But for Jeanie, his withdrawal feels like rejection. It probably reminds her of unavailable guys back in Boston.
And then things blow up. Logan crosses a line.
He does. His paranoia gets the better of him. He snoops in Jeanie's apartment when she's not there. A major breach of trust.
What's he looking for? Proof she's leaving.
Basically, he sees unpacked boxes, one clearly labeled photos, which should be a clue she's settling in, but he doesn't see it that way. And then he finds it. The trigger.
The realtor card. Barb Sanders.
The same realtor who kept bugging him to sell his grandparents' farm. To Logan, this is absolute confirmation of his worst fears.
He thinks she's planning to sell the cafe and skip town, just like Lucy left him.
All his abandonment issues just explode. Hazel later diagnoses it perfectly. Father left, mother died, Lucy left. He's primed for this.
So he confronts Jeanie. Accuses her.
Oh, yeah. Accuses her of planning to sell, of being temporary. And Jeanie, who has just decided she's staying, who's finally embracing her life there, is obviously deeply hurt.
How does she handle it?
She confronts him right back about his assumptions, his snooping, and then she delivers the line that forces the issue. I think you should just cool things off for a while.
Using his own tendency to pull back against him.
Exactly. It forces him to reckon with his pride, his fear, and what he's about to lose because of it.
Does it work? Does he get it?
It seems to shock him into realizing he's sabotaging himself. He understands Jeanie isn't Lucy. She's actually fighting to stay.
Which leads to the grand gesture.
The inevitable, very public, Dream Harbor-style grand gesture. Logan, the guy who hates public attention, decides to use it.
What does he do?
He marches into the cafe during the busiest part of the morning rush. The place is packed.
Oh, boy.
He stands there and announces loud enough for everyone that if Jeanie doesn't come out from the back, he will say everything I need to say in front of every one of these nosy people out here.
Weaponizing the town gossip against itself. Genius.
The whole place goes silent. Everyone just stops, stares, waiting for the drama. Jeanie comes flying out of the break room, grabs him, drags him back inside.
And in private.
He finally lets his guard down. Total confession. It's my own stupid pride that got hurt. I don't want to screw things up with you, Jeanie. Admits he's been sabotaging things himself.
And then, L word.
Yes.
He tells her he loves her and pinpoints the moment with perfect grumpy hero charm. Probably since I saw your hedgehog pajama pant.
Okay, that's pretty great. And Jeanie?
She loves him too, and her reason is just as specific and charming. How many tiny pumpkins you could carry at once.
Oh, it fits them perfectly, so they make up.
They do. And then they walk back out into the cafe.
And Logan makes the public declaration he was threatening.
He does. He just announces, I love Jeanie Ellis. And the town's reaction. Shock. Yasps.
Nope. Cheers. Everyone starts clapping, and Linda, queen of the book club, just yells out, we already knew that.
Of course they did. They knew all along. His fear was pointless.
Exactly. Embracing the public nature of their relationship, being known by the town, that was the final step to real commitment and acceptance for him.
So Jeanie's fully integrated now. No turning back.
Totally. She joins the book club, starts teaching a baking class at the cafe. There's even a scene where Logan and their friends are finally helping her hang art in her apartment.
Which was probably bare before, reflecting her uncertainty.
Right. And naturally it involves tons of teasing and jokes about their relationship. She's in. Nancy tells her flat out, you're one of us now, for better or worse. She belongs. Hashtag tag outro.
So let's bring this all together. What's the big takeaway here for you listening? Jeanie's whole journey, this deep dive into her story, it really shows that a fresh start isn't about erasing who you are.
Right. Or finding some perfect, calm, quaint life where nothing bad happens. That's not Dream Harbor, despite the name.
She tried that. She tried to be this quiet, calm, new Jeanie, this archetype, but it didn't work. She only found her footing when she embraced her actual self.
The slightly chaotic, overthinking, maybe initially bat-wielding self.
Yeah. And realized that stability wasn't about isolating herself from the messiness, but allowing herself to be seen and supported within it by this incredibly nosy, but ultimately caring community.
Even if they do run on romance novels and gossip. The new Jeanie wasn't a different person, just a less guarded version of the old one. Someone who knows where she belongs, finally.
And it's interesting, the acknowledgments in the source material explicitly mention the author, Laurie Gilmore, writes for people who love Stars Hollow and wanted Luke and Lorelai to get together sooner.
Ah, okay. That explains so much. The vibe, the grumpy flannel guy, the town meddling, being portrayed as ultimately beneficial. It's leaning right into that specific fantasy.
It is. And looking at Dream Harbor itself, it's charming, but it's built on these unresolved things, isn't it? Logan's past heartbreak, Norman and Dot's secret love story, Mayor Kelly governing by dreams.
The town functions because it forces these things out into the open eventually. Conflict leads to resolution, usually communally witnessed.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to maybe chew on. The insight here seems to be that real acceptance, real stability, at least in a place like Dream Harbor, comes from letting your vulnerabilities show.
Letting your trauma, your fears, even your romantic entanglements become essentially town gossip. Because being known, truly seen, warts and all, is what makes you stable within that community fabric.
So the provocative question is this. How much of your own current stability, wherever you are, actually rests not just on your own efforts, but on the predictable, sometimes messy dramas and connections of the people around you? How much do we rely on the foundations of other people's stories?
Something to think about. Thanks for diving in with us today.
We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.